to get here.
Wow.
We fought all the obstacles.
Yes.
Getting paid less than. And we do it with grace. We do it with grace because when we speak up too much, we're considered angry. I'm trying to...
Have you ever wondered what happens when one of Hollywood's most respected actresses decides she's tired of staying silent? What happens when someone who has spent decades building a career, collecting awards, earning critical acclaim, and proving herself over and over again, suddenly says, enough is enough? Well, according to many people online, that's exactly what happened when Taraji P. Henson started speaking openly about her experience while working on The Color Purple. What began as a conversation about pay quickly turned into one of the most talked about controversies in entertainment, dragging some of Hollywood's biggest names into a debate that refuses to go away. And now, with rumors spreading across social media and fans digging into old industry stories, many people are asking whether Taraji has accidentally exposed a much bigger problem hiding behind the glamorous image of Hollywood. The reason this story has captured so much attention is because Taraji P. Henson is not some newcomer trying to break into the industry. This is a woman who has spent more than 2 decades proving herself as one of the most talented performers of her generation. From critically acclaimed films to hit television shows, Taraji has built a reputation as someone who consistently delivers unforgettable performances. She has earned award nominations, won prestigious honors, and become a household name. That's why so many people were shocked when she revealed that she had nearly walked away from The Color Purple because of concerns over compensation. For many fans, the idea that an actress of Taraji's caliber would still be fighting battles over pay seemed almost unbelievable. If someone at her level is facing these challenges, what does that say about the rest of the industry?
Do it with so much grace and get paid half the price of what we're worth. And that becomes difficult. I haven't seen a raise in my income since Proud Mary. And almost had to walk away from Color Purple. Yes, ma'am. I'm just tired of working so hard, being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. And if I can't fight for them coming up behind me, then what the fuck am I doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't apologize.
And then
And
they
it's so
tell me we
glamorous,
don't
yes.
translate overseas.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing that my entire career, 20 plus years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money. They play in your face.
When you see a black woman up here, baby, we jumped hurdles to get here.
Wow.
We fought all the obstacles.
Yes.
Getting paid less than. And we do it with grace. We do it with grace because when we speak up too much, we're considered angry. I'm trying to give you lessons.
Things became even more emotional when Taraji opened up about how exhausting it has been to repeatedly fight for what she believes she deserves. During interviews promoting the film, she spoke candidly about feeling frustrated with constantly hearing the same explanations year after year. She described the experience of working incredibly hard, delivering successful projects, and yet still feeling as though her value was being questioned. Her comments immediately struck a nerve because they reflected frustrations that many people, not just actors, experience in their own careers. The feeling of being asked to do more while receiving less is something audiences everywhere can relate to. That relatability helped transform her comments from a Hollywood story into a much broader conversation about fairness, recognition, and respect in the workplace. But the controversy didn't stop with discussions about salary. As Taraji continued speaking, she revealed additional concerns that sparked even more debate online. According to her comments, there were disagreements involving transportation and working conditions during production. Taraji suggested that actors were expected to manage transportation arrangements that she believed should have been handled differently. Her concern wasn't about luxury or special treatment. Instead, she framed the issue around safety, liability, and basic working conditions. She argued that performers should be able to focus on their jobs without worrying about risks associated with getting themselves to and from set. What caught many people's attention was her response when she was reportedly told that providing additional support for one actor would require doing the same for everyone. Her answer was simple: then do it for everyone. That statement quickly spread online, with supporters praising her for advocating not only for herself, but for others as well.
You had difficult demands.
I want to address it for the order that it went in. And when Mr. Daniels said I had these demands, it shocked me because I was saying to the screen, Dawn, please ask them what the demands were. And actually, there were no demands. There was a request from the movie studio, and they called and requested that I fly to France for the Cannes Film Festival. I simply said I respectfully declined, because if you can remember at the time, there was a talk show called The Monique Show. I was doing a comedy tour. I was actually in the award season of the awards, and I'm also a wife, and I'm a mommy. So when they called, I had a couple days just downtime. I wanted to spend that with my husband and my kids. So when we said we respectfully declined, the movie studio called back again, and they said, okay, well, we'll upgrade her hotel room. And my husband simply said again, we respectfully decline. She's gonna take this time with her family.
Yeah.
Well, when the third call came, and they said, what is it gonna take to get Monique to France, to the Cannes Film Festival? And my husband said, is there a number associated with it? And they said, oh, we would never pay for anyone to do any promotions for a movie. And we said we understood, because what people didn't know was I was paid $50,000 to do the movie Precious. And it really wasn't about the money, and I'm not complaining, because I signed up to do it with my friend.
Yeah. But
So
you're saying that because you didn't have the money to do this on your own. Is that what you're saying? That you needed to feed your family and pay your bills?
I think that's what America says.
Yeah.
I think we all say, I can't do it for free.
Right.
So when the movie studio says we can't set a precedent and pay you to do this, we didn't have an issue with them.
Okay.
But that's when the reports came that now Monique is being demanding and she's being difficult. They had a request. We simply had a request, and they said they couldn't do it, and we said we understood.
As clips from her interviews began circulating across social media platforms, a surprising thing happened. People started connecting Taraji's experience to another actress who had spent years making similar complaints about Hollywood. That actress was Monique. Almost overnight, conversations about Taraji evolved into conversations about whether history was repeating itself. For years, Monique has publicly discussed her experiences following the success of the 2009 film Precious. While the movie received widespread acclaim and helped elevate several careers, Monique has long argued that events behind the scenes unfolded very differently than the public was led to believe. According to her account, disagreements emerged regarding promotional obligations, compensation, and expectations placed upon her after filming had already been completed. Monique has repeatedly maintained that she fulfilled the requirements outlined in her contract and that additional promotional requests were not part of the original agreement. When she declined certain opportunities, she claims she was unfairly labeled difficult and uncooperative. Over the years, she has suggested that these perceptions negatively impacted her career opportunities. Whether people agreed with her perspective or not, her story remained one of Hollywood's most debated controversies. That's why when Taraji began discussing her own frustrations, many observers immediately saw similarities. Social media users began revisiting old interviews, comparing timelines, and asking whether the industry had learned anything from the debates surrounding Monique.
He says to me, listen, you may really want to consider promoting this film, because if you get nominated for an Oscar award, your next film is $3 to $5 million. And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler, who you talking to? I'm a black woman. Where do they pay those type of salaries, brother? I said, what I cannot do, Tyler, is work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I cannot go overseas and do this for free, Tyler. So then he goes on about his spiel, you know. I said, well, listen, you can write me the check for me to go overseas. I don't care where the money comes from, but I'm not gonna do it for free. He says, well, I don't believe in giving money away for free. I said, I don't believe in working for free, so we're on the same.
Soon, another name became impossible to avoid in the conversation: Oprah Winfrey. As one of the most influential figures associated with the color purple, Oprah found herself at the center of growing online speculation. Some fans rushed to defend her, arguing that she was being unfairly blamed for larger industry-wide issues that extend far beyond any single production. Others believed that because of her influence and involvement, she should be held accountable for addressing concerns raised by cast members. The debate quickly intensified, creating two very different narratives. One side viewed Oprah as a respected industry leader being unfairly targeted by internet rumors. The other side viewed her as a powerful figure who should answer difficult questions about how productions are managed behind the scenes. What made the situation even more fascinating was the contrast between public appearances and online speculation. Despite the rumors, both Oprah and Taraji publicly expressed positive sentiments about one another during promotional events. Social media posts featured warm messages, compliments, and mutual respect. To casual observers, everything appeared perfectly normal, yet online discussions continued growing louder. Critics argued that public statements do not always reveal what is happening behind the closed doors. Supporters countered that speculation without evidence can quickly spiral out of control. As a result, the story became less about confirmed facts and more about competing interpretations of what might be happening behind the scenes. Then came another twist that pushed the controversy to a new level. As discussions intensified, attention shifted toward the film's box office performance. Some reports and online commentators began suggesting that negative publicity surrounding the controversy may have influenced public perception of the movie. Others strongly disagreed, arguing that box office performance depends on countless factors and that blaming any one individual would be unfair. Regardless of where people stood, the debate fueled even more interest in the story. Every interview, every social media post, and every news article seemed to generate another wave of discussion. The reason this controversy continues attracting attention is because it touches on something much bigger than a disagreement between celebrities. At its core, the conversation revolves around power. Who has it? Who doesn't? And what happens when someone challenges the system? Throughout Hollywood history, there have been countless stories about performers who claimed they were treated unfairly. Some remained silent out of fear of damaging their careers. Others chose to speak out despite the risks. Those decisions often came with consequences, whether real or perceived. That's why so many people are paying attention to Taraji's story. They're not just interested in what happened during one movie production. They're interested in what her experience might reveal about the entertainment industry as a whole. Adding even more intrigue are ongoing rumors suggesting that legal action could potentially emerge from the controversy. To be clear, many of these claims remain speculative and have not been publicly confirmed. However, the possibility alone has kept audiences engaged. If any legal dispute were ever to develop, it could bring additional information into the public spotlight and potentially reshape conversations about working conditions, compensation, and accountability within the industry. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen, but the rumors have certainly added another layer of mystery to an already complex story. At the end of the day, the biggest question may not be whether Taraji was right or wrong. The bigger question is why her comments resonated with so many people in the first place. Perhaps it's because her story reflects frustrations that exist far beyond Hollywood. Many people know what it feels like to work hard without feeling adequately rewarded.
Many understand the challenge of speaking up when there is a risk involved, and many have experienced moments when standing up for themselves felt like the most difficult choice possible. That's why this story continues generating headlines and dominating conversations online. It's about much more than celebrities. It's about fairness, opportunity, and the courage to speak openly about difficult experiences. Whether you view Taraji as a whistleblower, a truth teller, a frustrated employee, or simply someone sharing her perspective, one thing is certain: her comments have sparked a conversation that isn't going away anytime soon.